Looks like rain's coming, and they're calling for it by the end of the afternoon. I'm not going to complain. We could use more rain. But it's moments sitting in a place like this, where you can see the rain off in the distance, that at least when I take a moment, makes me stop and think about all the places water is in my ordinary everyday life, like all the time. But it's all around us. And once you think about it, once you stop and watch, rain isn't just, the water that's over there. There's water all around, all sorts of moments in everyday life, all around in creation, all around us. We drink it, we use it in our ritual life, in worship. We shower, we bathe with it, we cook with it. It's all over the place. Even our bodies are made, they say, of 3/4 water. It's all around, filling all of creation, not just out there, but right here, as close as our own bodies. When I think about that, when I think about the way water is everywhere, and sometimes it just takes me a moment to realize that it's flowing in fountains and running through creeks and rushing down waterfalls and in rivers and in my kitchen and coming out of the tap and in the shower and in the clouds and in me, maybe even with every breath with the water vapor that's there in my breath. It makes me think in a whole new way about God's presence in Christ. In fact, there are 2 letters in our New Testament that really sort of drive this home. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at this coming fall in our fall Bible study series, Christ in All Places. We're going to be taking a look at 2 letters, the letter to the Ephesians and the letter to the Colossians, and seeing the way that those 2 letters in particular bring a unique perspective that, like discovering there's water everywhere, and once you stop to think about it, you can start rattling off all the places that it is. These letters help us to see Christ in the same way. That Christ is not only Jesus of Nazareth who walked the earth 2,000 years ago, but to hear the writer of Ephesians and Colossians tell it, Christ is in fact God from very, very beginning, from before creation, and that Christ fills all creation, that all creation is headed toward the goal of Christ, and that God's intention is to fill all things in all creation, to bring all things under the rule of Christ, and that Christ will fill all parts of the universe in every place, in every moment, every person, every breath, every instance, that all of it is full of Christ. Sometimes in places and ways you can recognize, right? You would hope that in the gathered followers of Jesus, the church, that you should be able to see glimpses of Christ. Sometimes we're decent at that. Sometimes we are not so good at that. But that Jesus and Christ's presence isn't limited there, but in fact, you can see Christ's presence working behind the scenes in all of creation everywhere, and then into the nitty-gritty of how we live our lives, our relationships within the church community, our relationships with other people, our day-to-day ordinary relationships and families, friendships, in our work lives, and with everybody around us. What we're going to invite you to be a part of this coming fall is a chance to take a look at these 2 less well-known but really, really powerful and beautiful letters in the New Testament, and to discover we are invited to do with Christ what you can do when you think about water in all sorts of places. It's out there in the clouds, sure, it's flowing from the stream, it's in the glass of water you drink, it's in the shower that you took, but it's everywhere, it's even in you. Join us for this 6-part study to have the letter to the Ephesians and the letter to the Colossians train our eyesight, so to speak, to recognize Christ in all places, out there, in here, in all the universe. If that sounds like a conversation you want to be a part of, join us coming up on Tuesdays, starting September 13th, here at New Life, but open to all people. Keep your eyes open. We'll see Jesus everywhere.